bro fist to you all. There it is. I fucking forgot to do it. Jesus H. Christ. What is going on this sweet Friday where me and Ghosty had one of the best working weeks ever. Just got back from London yesterday, late afternoon. As we arrived, not even put our bags down. Knock at the door. There's the old PSVR waiting for us. Gave that a fucking Jimmy Russell today. Not bad. Surprisingly good, actually. I think is where we're going. Surprisingly good. Was expecting the old PS4 to chug. Choo-choo Thomas the Tank Engine. But it didn't. Actually ran really fucking well. So, yeah, man. It's been a fucking sweet week. And, of course, we were in London promoting the World of Warcraft movie during our little speech that we had to give in the loading bar in London. If any of you guys are in London, you should check that place out. The basement is incredible. Like, loads of PCs, loads of big tables out with board games and stuff. Although no one would play me at Trivial Pursuit, mate.
There was people on it. Stop saying that. You would have got fucking wrecked.
At WoW Trivial Pursuit,
yeah.
mate. In
I've
fact,
seen your fucking law videos, mate.
Nobble's just reminded of us his sub. But I did say to Nobble last night, I was like, you should have come. And we would have got some WoW Trivial Pursuit going. And then he was upset because we would have done it. Because we would have taken it to school. But I did crush the Kremlin. I single-handedly brought Russia to its knees. But we'll tell you all at the web show. Can we show some of this swag? Tomorrow's web show is going to be pretty awesome.
Don't grab the bag. I've taken my cup, mate.
If you didn't see Twitter, we have stuff for days going on in here. We have all kinds of fucking shit that is all for you guys. We've got fucking DVDs, we got books, we got posters, we got bands, this is a heavy fucking bag of gear that we've got to give to you guys. We've got to give this shit away over the next couple of weeks. So the web shows and stuff and the Halloween show should be pretty good. Are there any legendaries? Negative. Negative. Only if you send your little brother or something like that will you get a legendary. But we have all this kind of stuff. Can you have the bag? I don't show.
No!
You want the bag?
No, you can give the bag away.
It's a bag. A sack, more realistically. It's actually a sack. It is a really big bag. So yeah, we found a swag bag. We were in a basement at the loading bar, which was very cool. People flew in from LA for this event. There was a very interesting security system with all the Warcraft weaponry. There was a very well-groomed man who was protecting the Warcraft weaponry, wasn't he? He was so well-groomed.
He was a really fucking nice guy, though.
I know. A handsome man. Was dedicated to making sure that nobody touched the Doombringer, which we did try, but they wouldn't let us through the glass case. Even though we were like the hosts, right? We should be allowed to touch it. We're trustworthy.
I am.
We're trustworthy with the Doombringer, but they wouldn't let us touch it. We got to touch a lot of the swords and axes, but they wouldn't let us touch the Doombringer, which was real sad. Which was real fucking bummerino. So that's going on tomorrow. A whole wealth of competitions. We have people dressed up as orcs. We've got the Pimp Hat Transmog. Get them in, please. I'm going to sort that out tomorrow afternoon. So if you haven't sent your Pimp Hat Transmog, send that in and we're going to give all this kind of stuff away. All right, but that's not why you're here right now. Let's have some drama. I've got some really funky dramas. What's really cool about Legion is that loads of you are being forced to do community stuff that you haven't done for years, right? And I'm just getting inundated with stories that are happening right now because so many of you are taking part in events that you probably were solo a lot of the stuff in the past. You're probably really solo. And now you're doing all this community stuff and it's just a fucking nightmare. It's an absolute fucking nightmare for so many of you. So I'm really excited about it. So we'll kick off with something relaxed from a lovely lady from Team Italy. Instantaneous. Amazing.
Boner alert, mate.
All about the Italian ladies. Are we ready? I'm from Team Italy. Oh, let me do the name of the story. That's what I should do because I am good at doing my own show. It's just called Newbie Italy Story. Awesome. Cool. All right, then. Here we go. Hello, Preacher from Team Italy. I play WoW since the first months of vanilla, elitist. And here is a newbie story of how my journey started. At the time, I was going to university. I am a gamer since when I have memory, but all the games I played so far had one issue. Sooner or later, they came to an end, right? They came to an end. I did not know anything about MMOs, but when World of Warcraft came out, a dear friend of mine showed me the game at his home and immediately appeared to me as the game I was always looking for. A never-ending journey where I would have had all the time to level, all the abilities and collect all the useless shit to my heart's content. Gotta collect those mounts, right? Never gonna use them, but I've gotta get them because the number goes higher. It's pretty good. I created a character on his account to try the game. I was a warrior in Baldur's Gate. I was a warrior in Diablo. And Alliance were fucking horrendous. But on the Horde side, Orcs were more or less okay. Tauren too big, Undead too fucking horrible. And my friend was a gnome mage. I was left, ladies and gentlemen, with only one logical choice for the warrior. So what is it? And I refuse to accept this as ever being the only remaining logical choice. Not even fucking possible is this the only logical choice remaining. The only logical choice was a troll warrior. Fucking bullshit. Never are you in a situation where a troll warrior is the only logical choice. Never in a million fucking years does that happen. That is fundamentally grade A legendaries on alts. That's how bad that situation is. That's as bad as legendaries on alts. That's what that is. It's fucking retarded. Yeah, I'm going to say it. I'm calling it out. It's so bad. I played a bit. I enjoyed it. And a few days later, I bought the game for myself. And maybe created my own account. Right, Man Beast, no puns. Maybe she was just trolling.
Maybe me.
No puns. I don't want any puns in this chat. It's a pun-free zone.
Right, I'm going into the chat.
Now, knowing my goals, you could have an idea of the average time I usually spend on character creation. But I had already tried the game. So once I got home, it only took me a few hours to finally decide what I should play. I logged in for the first time to my glorious Tauren Shaman on a role-playing realm and started leveling. Needless to say, I was a lorehead. I read every single quest I could. And after some time, maybe a couple of hours, I finally left the entry zone and reached Bloodhoof Village, where I would start the quest to morph into the spectral wolf. And I was there, close to the campfire. The ritual began and the spectral wolf appears in the flames. Follow the wolf, the quest giver told me. So I start running after the wolf. Now you could think I was a noob as I was new to the game, but I was a smart gamer. I knew I needed to follow this wolf. And to not lose the wolf, I targeted him and I selected follow. Checkmate, game. Checkmate. The quest went on for quite some time. And after running around all over the area, the wolf finally stopped. I thought to myself, finally the quest should be nearly done. The wolf turned to me. And then the wolf whispered me, "Why are you following me?" And I responded, surprised, the quest told me to follow you. I was so ashamed and amazed at the same time. The other player had passed through the campfire exactly when I was starting the quest. I was a noob, sure, and you can all laugh at me now, but I had an excuse, right? The timing was clutch. Maybe, right? Will the chat give me my forgiveness? I don't know. I'd leave that to the audience to decide, man. I'll leave that to the audience to decide. We got to talking with a guy and discovered that he was a GM in a guild. And I had much respect for him for that. Where people were helping each other, he said, and preparing to fight together an old enemy. which the GM was sure about it, was going to reawake soon. We're a helpful, friendly guild. Let me sell you guys. You ready? You ready? Because I'm pushing you guys to get into guilds. So if you hear this, we're a casual, helpful, friendly guild. And there is definitely an enemy that is going to reawaken soon. And we're going to take part in bringing it down. If you hear that, just say no, kids. Just say no. Translated, we invite everybody and we're planning to raid soon. We're definitely planning to raid soon. We're probably going to start work on some old WOD raids, you know, to build teamwork, bit of togetherness and that. No, we're not going to do no Emerald Nightwear though, mate. Because, you know what I mean? Fucking it's new stuff in it. Got to build together as a combo. Maybe start on some Mythic Zeros, something like that. Or Mythic Ones, as I keep getting corrected by. Mythic 1. He asked me if I wanted to join and I immediately accepted after his sales pitch. He helped me with the next few quests. We killed mobs together and I felt amazed by this new experience. After some time, he had to log off. And I took the chance to check the guild tab. I was the only person online. It's a good sign. Wait. I know what you're thinking. It's all a trap. It's a filthy trap. I selected the show offline feature. Preacher, believe me, there was something like 60 to 70 members of this guild. Every single one of them was a Tauran shaman below level 10. Yes. Yes. It's the dream. I immediately logged off and deleted the character. The next day I was there, facing this character creation screen again and what to do now. It took me a solid week to finally decide it. And of course, the decision went to the Undead Warrior Master Race. Yes. Doing it right. The main that I loved playing all PvE and PvP environments until Trial of the Crusader, until real life rendered me the casual scrub. Well, that's for another story. I'll send it. And by the way, I would never play an RP realm again. If you want to be a part of our definitely going to do things below level 10, 70 Tauran Shaman only guild, feel free to join. We're a casual, friendly bunch. You never log on ever again. It's pretty good. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. You should do that. You should do that. You should definitely be a part of it. Right, let's see how some mythics. How many of you? What's the highest mythic plus you guys have done? I don't mean that you. I mean that you finished. That you finished. I'm really curious to see where they are because I had a really interesting bunch of conversations with a lot of fans this week, which was really cool. Right, 9, 10, 5. Let me get this one. I'll do this. Dawn. We need Dawn. We need Chase. Can't help but think of fucking Paw Patrol now every time I see the name Chase. And Drazza. Drazza, you're in. 3, 13. Cool, Jasper. Not quite got the 15 yet, though, Jasper. Eh? 19. Woo! 5, 10, 0, 0. Oh, so we're in a mad variety. Okay. Not surprising me anymore, honestly. 11. Trenlow. Cool, cool. What's Mythic Keck? What the fuck is Mythic? 6, 5, 7. 9 was easy, but I didn't get the timer. We did a 9 before. Volcanic's fun, isn't it? Volcanic's a giggle. Yeah, I like Volcanic. Volcanic's a real blast. What's the other one that we've got this week as well? Sanguine? Sanguine and Volcanic. That's a nice combination. Right load of laughs. And Fortified at 10 this week as well. Woohoo! What a ton of fucking fun. I like Volcanic. Volcanic's easy. I have a Fire Mage. I'm alright with Volcanic. I was just listening to the Warlocks bitching as they couldn't cast a single Chaos Bolt sometimes. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Okay, right. How I made someone G quit. Why is Ghosty here? Let's get rid of that. Nope, we want that one. I want to keep getting that one. Okay. Yeah, I fixed it, Dagger. I fixed it. All right, then. Let's go to Team America. Hello, Preacher. A big brofist from Team America. Boom. I've been watching your show for about a year now. And since I decided I wanted to do Mythic raiding in Legion and used your guides to figure out how to not be a noob and find a decent guild, I've been a huge fan of Drama Time. Nice. I've been playing WoW since vanilla, but not frequently at all since I was playing at a friend's house on his account. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. It wasn't until Wrath when I got my own account, when my other friend gave me his free 10-day code that his dad received from working security at BlizzCon. Is that what they pay you in at security at Blizzard? Oh, for BlizzCon, that's okay. My friend then decided he would recruit me as a friend. I'm going to help you so much you won't even believe it. And so my WoW journey began. With him, I leveled a paladin until we got bored and left to play other games like League of Legends. And since then, I've been playing on and off, not really getting anywhere until Warlords of Draenor, when I finally capped that paladin, ladies and gents, and I've been maining that paladin ever since. Why am I giving you this background, you might ask? I have no idea, as it's not pertinent to any of the part of the story. Okay. This, ladies and gentlemen, and I want to see your predictions. This is a short story that happened to myself and a couple of guildies while running Mythic 5 Maw of Souls. What can we predict is about to happen? Mythic 5 Maw of Souls. My story starts today. Hours before I sat down to write this very tale. I was going through Suramar doing world quests for reps so I could finish my last 2 story chapters. Pff, casual. Seagulls? Wrong instance. wrong instance. The best thing about our souls is the slap. Not the breath, the slap. The slap's the best one. Everyone forgets the slap. I forgot the slap on +9 the other day. I was going through Suramar doing world quests. In guild chat, I saw Drazza, a Death Knight. I have never seen Drazza before, as he's not part of our Team 1. Therefore doesn't exist. That's really elitist. I don't know you. You're not part of Team 1. And he's never online when I am. Drazza asks if anyone would like to join him in Mythic Maw of Souls, as he had a level 5 keystone. I was bored. So I offered to tank. You listening? And Chase, a really good warlock from Team 1, along with Dawn, a mage, also from Team 1, volunteered to tag along as well. So we've got a Team 1 tank and 2 Team 1 deeps. Is Team 1 any good? We don't know. Team 1 could mean LFR on farm for all we know. It doesn't necessarily mean good, right? Let's mention that. The group farm. We pugged a healer. I've left the group. I'm joking. As our other healers were busy and offline. Made our way to the Maw of Souls. Rip. I knew it instantly. Rip. What's inside? We placed the keystone. We got ready to go. Rip. The countdown finished. And with 25 minutes on the clock, we started our run. We got off to a great start, killing the first boss with 20 minutes left on the clock. We made our way through the dungeon, arriving at the second boss with 15 minutes left. We started the fight. And wiped. And now I'm not even fucking... This is going to sound so elitist, but it's fine. MMOchampion.com, you know where to post it. We ended up wiping because Drazza wouldn't switch to focus his ads. I guarantee there are loads of people in this chat right now who have no idea what those ads do. Because they have never lived. And I know so... You cannot have watched my channel for more than a couple of years and have any idea what those fucking ads do. I guarantee it. There's so many people here who has no idea what they do. They appear, and then there's Living Bomb. And it's Ripperoni. I don't know what they do. I have no fucking idea. I actually want to know, because apparently you can wipe if you ignore them. I do not fucking know. Wait, there's ads? Exactly. It's like, I don't know. They walk. I don't know. I don't know what they do. I don't know. That's what I told people to do. What do they do? Not gonna lie, he's not wrong. Yeah, I could two-shot. That's what do they do? I don't know. I have no idea. Anyway, they didn't kill the ads. They drain your health. They AoE on the... guilty. Yeah, I know many of you will be in that position. I don't know what they do. I know it's going to be something bad. So I'll just kill them, right? AoE. I get to AoE. It's good. 3 of them. Creamy. Anyway, So they wiped because of the ads, apparently. I mean, we might need to test this and figure out what the fuck those ads do. So they wiped. Bummer. We started a second time, only to wipe again for the same fucking reason. The ads, man. The ads. After taking a couple of seconds to explain that he needed to kill the ads, we went again. Third try, second boss, more of Souls 5. This time we went at a much more relaxed pace, as there was no possible way we were completing that dungeon under the time. We've got a depleted keystone, people. Ooh, go over there. We got there. We killed it. And then we came to Hey-ya and started the fight. My attention was immediately drawn to Drazza. By this point, it was pretty clear Drazza did not know how Maw of Souls worked. With the first 10 seconds of the fight, I watched as Drazza boldly started attacking the tentacles on the side of the boat, heroically striking them down. Of course, we wiped as destructor tentacles spouted and spouted. Without him, we couldn't kill them quick enough. I asked him, "What are you doing, Drazza? Why are you doing this to us?" But Drazza had a response, ladies and gentlemen. He's not just making this shit up, right? He knows what the fuck's going on. Drazza says, "You're a dickhead, you dickhead. I can kill more of these faster, ergo, we'll get to phase 2 quicker." Motherfucking science. Motherfucking science. He said his DPS was pretty godlike, so this would make it quick and easy. Drazza had been the bottom damage all night. But still, you know what I mean? He's worked it out. He's worked it out. He's got a plan in action. After explaining that that's not how this fight works, we went off again, and we fucking made it to phase 2. And then Corrupted Bellow.
Did someone say you're a dickhead, you dickhead?
Yeah. I watched as Drazza, of course, didn't move. Took it to the face and died. Our healer battle resed him and we continued. We made it to the second half of phase 2. She went down. She came back up. And then the Corrupted Bellow came back. Once again, Drazza does not move. Once again, Drazza does not fear. And once again, Drazza dies. The torrent came and I couldn't interrupt it as mine was still on cooldown. Drazza was the only other person who was interrupted, which when I learned he was actually doing something good. The rest of the group died from the attack since we were already below 50% health. However, I didn't. With 10% left on the boss, I decided to keep chugging along as I, ladies and gentlemen, am a motherfucking prot paladin. I am a god. I fought that boss with all my might, using all my cooldowns, getting low, light the protector to heal myself back up. The whole time, Dawn cheering me on, knowing I could do it, as for whatever reason, whenever I was in Mythic Plus, I always end up soloing the last 10 or 20% of the last boss. Chase joined in, encouraging me to keep fighting. Drazza, though, remains fucking silent. Soon later, Helya fell. I was victorious and turned to receive my loot after reviving everyone. Unsurprisingly, all I got was artifact power, but I didn't care. I was the fucking man. After soloing Helya and continuing the running joke between me and Dawn that I always solo the last boss, I noticed that Drazza received his fucking loot and was teleporting before you could slap a dick out, and then left the group. I then saw in chat Drazza has left the guild. I was dumbfounded. I didn't think it was that bad of a run, even though we didn't complete it in the time limit, but most of that was down to Drazza himself. I then received a whisper from Drazza. "Shit tank," was all it said. Shit tank. His next line was that just because I soloed the bosses, I shouldn't let it get to my head as my DPS was still wank. I tried to respond to his whisper to talk some sense into him. I started with a simple bruh. Bruh, 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 bruh. Before then sending my full message, only to find me that Drazza had put me on fucking ignore. I was fucking dumbstruck. I started telling my guild what was going on jokingly. They made fun of me for making people quit the guild. But in the end, they agreed that this guy was completely overreacting. I decided I still needed to let this guy know my mind and decided to send him an in-game mail. Regulation. I was offended. I had never been put on ignore in the history of World of Warcraft. So I felt the need to tell him off. I have no idea, ladies and gentlemen, if he'll receive my mail, but I sent it anyway. I explained that leaving a guild simply because we got a depleted keystone and calling your tank shit for not having good DPS is stupid. I told him that my job is to help everyone stay alive by reducing group damage, which is impossible to do when people can't dodge mechanics. I then pointed out that he had the worst DPS through the dungeon and spent majority of the last fight dead. I don't know if I'll ever hear from Drazza again, or if you will even receive my message. But Preacher, try and spread the word. Why are you so upset about Drazza? Why? Let him go. Let Drazza get on with his life. Drazza's fine. Drazza will be okay. It's alright. Shh. Hush now. Let Drazza go. I think the chat can agree with me here. Let Drazza go. Let Drazza be. Drazza is a cunt. Drazza is a shitter. You think that's a shitter? Have any of you ever been in a raid group where the tank doesn't know what's going on? I might as well be asking one of the easiest questions ever. Fuck him. Fuck Drazza. Right. Yeah. You're about to hear a story from the perspective of that tank. Most of you have figured this out, though, but the Patreon names use surnames because it makes it so much easier for you to know that it's you. Oh, God, we've got a Russian.
Racist!
I crushed Russia recently.
I crushed Russia recently.
Ooh, how do we say that one? Daskia? Dakaskia. That's a cool name. I like that. Okay. All right. We're pugging the Emerald Nightmare. Normal mode. We're pugging the Emerald Nightmare. Sweet Jesus. Hi, Preacher, and a big brofist from Team Wales. Nice and local. Team Wales. Chat. Now, I'm gonna ask you guys to be really nice. I am gonna ask you guys to be really nice. I'm looking at people like Lord Edge and Tesla to be really nice. Our man asks only two things of us here, okay? Only two things of us. One, he's not good at the game. Please don't judge him. Okay? Two, he knows that Emerald Nightmare is not... Emerald Nightmare normal is not hard. He knows. Okay? So, just bear that in mind. Okay. Oh, you will be judged, sir. Okay, then here we go. We're going in. Now that we have those two things cleared up, I would like to tell you my very recent story of the horrors I endured pugging the Emerald Nightmare normal. Predictions, which bosses? I don't know. I don't know which ones are the ones. What bosses? We've not pugged it. You've not pugged it either. We're busy. Fucking fucking do Photoshop shit. Which boss? What are the Pug boss nightmares? I'll try and guess. I won't look at the chat, I promise. I would imagine Nathendra, Spider, Cenarius. It's got to be those three. Nathendra, Spider, Cenarius. Right, let's have a look. The Eye? Normal? No. The Eye? What does it even do on normal? It's just ads, right? Ursoc? Fuck off. No way. Oh, dragons. Yeah, dragons maybe. Yeah, dragons maybe. Maybe. Okay. Alright, let's see. Not Ursoc. Mate. Mate. Ain't nobody wiping to Ursoc normal. Ain't no fucking way. Mate. No way. Alright, here we go. Now that we have those two cleared up, I would like to tell you my story. I found myself dumbstruck at the end of this experience that I thought it would be perfect for your show. I've wiped on Ursoc, I've got proof. I recently came back to the game after a break and decided to play a Demon Hunter tank. Okay. It's pretty darn fun. And I have been trying to research my class better to become the best player I can be. That said, I am still somewhat of a noob, and I can't honestly say... Rip. I can't say, ladies and gents, I can't say that I understand my class completely. Okay? At least he's honest, right? He's saying, look, I've got some learning to do. I'm not trying to do Mythic. He's not doing that, right? He's where he should be. It's all good. Nevertheless, I got myself some nice drops from Mythic Dungeons, and one late night, around 1 AM, decided that I would pug the normal Emerald Nightmare. I can't say I expected much, but assumed because it was late night, the quality of player might be better. He is correct. He does say afterwards, as all of the kiddies have gone to bed. However, playing WoW in the middle of the night, you're only going to bump into one of two people. One, crazy Euro people who never fucking sleep and just sort of move their hands over the keyboard badly. And two, stoners. They don't know what's going on ever. But they're fine with it. They're okay with it. That's all you're running into. That's it. There's nothing else there. They're either really sleepy Dutchies or they're stoned. Or both. That happens both ways. Okay. Drunk people. The drunks tend to pass out. Drunks tend to pass out. The stoners will just keep going and going and going, man. I have recently... Okay. I can't say I expected much. And I expected the quality of the players to be better. I was, unfortunately, chat, incorrect. I joined a group that seemed very nice and positive. Ladies and gentlemen, we have found this. Our man has struck gold. He has found the positively motivated, thumbs up, middle of the night pug. That's what we found. Shut up your mouth about the Dutchies. I play with all the Dutchies all the time. All the time. They just needed another tank. And they took me in, and I was welcomed to my late night pug with rounds of hellos and welcomes. It's looking good. I did, however, notice that the leader was somewhat of an angry man. Given our video recently, there you go. He seemed to type everything in caps lock. For example, summon! Summon! The fuck inside the instance! The fuck! I shrugged it off. Maybe an iron fist was what this group needed. Summon! Now, not gonna lie to you, the first mistake was my bad. As I said, I am not great at this game. Whilst I did check out all the boss strats before entering, this is going to make so many of you cry. I did not know that the blobs before Nathendra were supposed to be pulled one at a time. I'll tell you a true story. I'm going to look really bad now. But I was all the smugs at the time. On my second time in Method on MOP testing, we were testing Mr. Pandaria. And one certain mage, Mr. Kuznam, had sent me the message saying I was allowed to be a warrior. Because I was originally a warlock. And everybody knew I didn't want to play a warlock. So when MOP testing came up and everyone was allowed to re-roll, I got the message that I could be a warrior. Now, being part of the testing team, that meant I was going to be tanking a lot of the testing, right? That made sense. No worries. I'm an old school tank. Easy mode. Heart of Fear. Does anyone remember the Heart of Fear? Does anyone remember after you kill the first boss, that you go to the wind boss? And I approached that tunnel with, you know, some of the best players in the world at my back. And I'm tanking this, so I got to look good. And I walked into that corridor and I heroically leapt into that trash, not knowing that trash actually starts together and spreads out, because if you pull it all together, it leads to one of the quickest and dirtiest wipes of all time. It was the first time I had tanked in the guild. And I just heroically leapt into all that trash, wiped everybody. Didn't fail my trial that day, though. Didn't fail my trial that day. All I said was, well, now we know not to do that. Now we know not to do that. However, I was a little embarrassed. I was a little embarrassed to say the least. But at least now we know. Can't speedrun that bit. Can't speedrun that bit. So before that, everything was fine. It was all good. It was all good. So, on the way. We're summoning. We're getting inside. We've got an angry raid leader. Shame. Yeah, I know. Now, as I said, the first mistake was my bad. Didn't know the blobs was not supposed to be all pulled at the same time. So you can probably imagine that everybody was ping-ponging around the room. Because one thing I've noticed about Pugs and LFR is that people definitely run away with the debuff. 100%. Of course, you then have that weird phase in Heroic where everyone spreads out. And then you get back to Mythic when people chase you intentionally with the debuff. I'm sure you've all been through that process of don't realize they're debuffed and kill everybody. Spread out at Heroic. And then back to Mythic, where you're then chasing your friends with the debuff and trying to slap them around the room. And that's how we progress through raiding. That's how you do it. So I pulled all of the blobs. I intentionally, Preacher, ran around all over the room to get as many of the blobs as possible. I got this. I'm going to go out of my fucking way to get all these fucking blobs. I'm telling you, I'm the blob master. You watch this shit. There were a few WTFs. And then that one thing that no one wants to see in raid chat. The raid leader, Stas, the angry man. He just typed 4 dots. Enter. ... Enter. Nuff said. Nuff said. I apologized and moved on. I got chatting with the other tank, Mason. Good name. The other tank, Mason. And he was a lovely guy. He gave me advice and told me when to taunt, etc., etc. Thankfully, we killed Nathandra easy enough. But that, ladies and gents, is about where the good times ended. We wiped twice on Ursoc when the DPS just wouldn't go into the groups. The DPS that had done it repeatedly was instantly kipped by the savage hands of Stas. I was a little shaken by what I was seeing. It made the next pull of Ursoc very scary. If I fucked up the stacks and died, would I too be kicked? Thankfully, we killed Ursoc on the 3rd try, and it was on to the next. This is where I did my second fuck up on the Dragons of Nightmare. This may be the most stupid thing I've ever done in the game, and I put my hands up completely when we were doing this. A call was made to swap tanks and to swap the dragons. I thought that meant that I was supposed to meet in the middle, taunt the other dragon, and switch sides. Apparently, this is not correct. But I did it with accuracy and precision and confidence, and then stuck my brain on autopilot, thinking that I had followed the rules. I then noticed a message from the mage Xander, who asked me, Arthur, are you fucking retarded? No caps lock was needed. I looked around, and I did notice that Mason was right next to me with his own dragon, and that everybody was dying. I tell you, Preacher, the uproar in the chat was insane. There were calls for me to be kicked. The word autistic was flying like a firework. People were saying that I had one gerb and that I fucked it up. And then I noticed a message that I got was from a guy who was awesomely positive about everything. His name was Busk. And Busk said, no worries, mate. At least you know for next time. I love that guy. I fucking love that guy. That guy is the killer. The absolute killer. He's no matter what's happening. You've been there for 10 hours. It's a fail. And he's all over it. He's like, yeah, man. This is fucking well cool. We're raiding and that. You know what I mean? It's awesome. I felt like such an idiot. I waited. I pinched my eyes and waited for the kick hammer from Stas. But it didn't come. It didn't come. For some reason that I do not know, Stas allowed me to stay in the group. People were not happy. But I stayed calm. I focused. I knew that one more fuck up would bring with it that kick. So when the time came, I moved to the middle of the room to swap. Only Mason didn't move. We both stacked to 10 and we wiped the raid. Mason got instantly kicked. Xander yelled at me, saying I was a retarded, autistic blob of slime. But this time I decided to retaliate. This time I decided to say fuck him. I whispered him back, saying all his class involved was smashing his head on a keyboard and to shut the fuck up. Xander did shut the fuck up. But we needed a new tank. Stas respect and elected himself for the job. This worried me. The comforting whispers of Mason would no longer be available to me. However, we managed to do the Drake's next pull. I realised it's not a hard fight at all. The next boss was the Eye. Why did they wipe? Why did they wipe? We wiped the first pull because of a certain mechanic. The mechanic involved a room, a timer, and the raid not leaving the room. I'm just gonna stay here. Oh, Triborn knows, man. You guys have all been there, right? Have you guys all seen this happen? No fucking way. Does everyone just stand there and blow the fuck up? I ain't going fucking nowhere. Stand your ground. We're the Spartans. We're not going nowhere. Can't kill it in one shot. I know, right? Don't say that. You're an elitist. Two tries on normal? No way, man. I ain't going fucking nowhere, man. I'm standing here. Right here. Plant those feet. The second attempt, though, the Eye fell. Nothing too difficult about that boss. Let's be honest. And we were on to the spider. Now, me and Stas had quite a good thing going as tank buddies. And this run went very smooth. Up until the boss went to another platform. We're not expecting anything, are we?
What's up, pal?
Are we expecting a delivery?
Not this time, I don't think.
I don't think so. I would like to tell you that this was my third major mistake. I would like to tell you it was the last mistake. I would like to tell you I knew how the feathers worked. I would like to tell you that I didn't soar majestically into the void. Look at me go! I would like to tell you that's what happened. But that is how it went down. And I soared ever so tastily down to the bottom. But I looked so fucking cool doing it with my golden wings. Woohoo! Down I go. Down I go. This time I was sure a kick was coming. But it never came. I honestly think that nobody noticed how I died. That's the glorious thing of that. Everybody's in so much chaos that nobody knows why he died. I often just get to the other side of the platform and see a lot of the raid dead and just assume the worst. Assume the worst. Whatever. Whatever. Okay. We downed the boss on the third try. I was pretty amazed that we had gotten to Cenarius and had absolutely no idea what to do with him. Since I hadn't looked up Cenarius, I didn't think we would get this far. Much to my surprise, though, Stas brought in a shiny, new Russian tank. His name was Darkaskia. Darkaskia was adorned with nice gear and was a blood DK. I was happy. This meant I could ask advice again without being rebuked. Darkaskia does not speak English. Damn it. When I asked him about Cenarius, he said, add. Tank add. It gave me some idea, but wasn't really the information I was looking for. Now I will tell you, I will tell you this now, preacher, and I will tell you, audience, the same thing. We killed Cenarius first try. I have absolutely no fucking idea what that fight is about. I don't know what's going on. I did tank an ad, and that was all fine. But then in the next phase, I don't know what was going on. I'm pretty sure Darkaskia was well geared enough to just carry everybody through it. What's going on? And the boss is dead. Oh, okay. Sure. I don't know. I didn't complain too much, and I hid my lack of knowledge sheepishly as we moved on to the final boss. Darkaskia tanks all. You are getting nothing. Just tanking the whole shit in the middle of the room. Unfortunately, our group ran into a little roadblock in the form of Xavius. On all of the other bosses, Stas seemed to know what was going on. But for Xavius, Stas didn't know what the fuck was going on. I desperately tried to work it out looking on Icy Veins and other websites, but by the time the ready check came, I had no idea what to do other than to tank the ad near the boss and taunt at 3 stacks. I asked Darkaskia and all he had to say was, ad. Tank ad. Tank it. Darkaskia tanks all. It was now 6 a.m. It's 5 hours in normal Emerald Nightmare. And needless to say, Xavius was still stood proud. But then in rocks Busk with his positivity. 90% our first try is pretty good, honestly. I think we did really well. How do you wipe at 90% on Xavius? What the fuck? That boss does nothing until like 30%, right? What does he do before 90%?
Blades, mate.
You can't wipe to normal blades.
Ads in the dream, mate.
Oh, not soaking ads? Surely they'd accidentally hit somebody, though, at 90%.
You'd like to think that.
90%? I don't know.
Chlamydia.
Chlamydia. The angry mage, though, Xander, spoke up again and went, what the fuck even is this group? What the fuck? I was just confused. I had no fucking clue what was going on around me. We tried again and we died again. Now, I have mostly owned up to my mistakes, but I honestly don't think this was anything to do with me. By our third wipe, our group was turning to chaos. Darkaskia was having a screaming match with the raid leader in Russian. To which Stas just kept saying, English! Stop speaking shit Russian! English! In all caps. I decided to pass the time by typing /cry on Xavius over and over again. Just spilling the chat. After 7 wipes, I decided that enough was enough. It was time for me to leave. I don't know if they ever did kill Xavius. In some ways, despite how shit the group was, I hope they did. All in all, it was a fun experience, I suppose. Despite the abuse I got from retard to autist that it imprinted upon my brain, I got some loot and I had fun. And that's what's important, right, guys? However, I can 100% say that I will never pug again. And I will try and find a guild that is more forgiving for a noob like me. Thanks for reading. I really hope you enjoyed. A big thank you for the content. Yeah, I love it. Send your newbie stories. People feel better knowing it's not just them. It's not just them. Right. We got 10 minutes. In fact, I haven't even got any kids. What the fuck does it matter if I go over? Woo, woo, woo.
I got kids.
Yep. Sucks to be you. I've got 6 days of no kids. So I'm going to be streaming a lot. I might even be streaming tonight, actually. Maybe we can go and do some pug normal mode. Surely if we all get on Discord and stuff, we'll be fine, right? Right, guys? Right, guys? I could trust you guys in the chat, right? Just some normal mode Emerald Nightmare. Maybe some heroic. What do you think?
I'm on Discord, mate.
That's what I just said. We can go on Discord and we can be friends.
What after it?
You wanted to come normal tonight, didn't you?
What?
You wanted to become normal.
I am normal.
No, you wanted to come to normal Emerald Nightmare tonight.
What time are you doing it?
Oh.
You're probably going to be doing it when I'm on duty.
Alright. How many do we need? 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1 superstar. Who will be... Oh my god.
What? What?
Sounds really sad, I know, but I've just seen one of the Patreons, and I can't believe I've noticed this before, is probably our 7th ever subscriber. It was the guy who got the Preach Gaming license plate. Do you remember that?
Oh, I remember that.
I do remember that.
The border for his license plate.
Yeah, the border for his license plate. Yeah, I remember that. Fucking hell. I'm going to have to send him an email. Cool. Anyway. Sorry about that. Okay. Let's go. Let's go. Hello, Preacher, a brofist to you and Ghosted, to all the balls out there, and most importantly, to our Lord and Saviour, Wriggle Pickle.
Wriggle Pickle for life.
Speak well of the dead, for I am your keeper.
He's not on right, he's masked. 3 points though, mate.
3
Kobe! Count them.
Okay. I just want to point out, if you guys want to get points for quality on your PDFs, look at this shit. It's in fucking... Hey, Andy, you seen this?
What's up, pal?
Look at his PDF. Look at this PDF. Look at this shit. It's in colour. It's got fucking fonts. It's got all sorts of stuff. It's classic. It's classic. This story contains a mix of newbie tales, coping with awful guilds, and having to deal with massive pricks. I do that every time I have a piss. You know what I'm saying?
I do that every morning I come into work.
Oh. Achieving my goals, and I hope my story makes it into your religious show. Chapter 1, the beginning. My story begins around mid-Wrath of the Lich King, around the launch of Ulduar. I was in middle school, what age is that, remind me, and didn't have a single clue about what WoW was at this time. One day I decided to invite some of my friends over at my house for the weekend, to have an overall good time, a bit of bants. The first day while we were playing GTA San Andreas, never forget, looking for the Chainsaw Murderer and the Bigfoot, we legit had GTA San Andreas on my PS2 and the PC at the same time. Whoa. PS2 and a PC in the same room. Fuck off.
Wow.
Fuck off.
Power usage, mate.
Fuck off. You know one of the most stupid, edgy things I thought we ever did, and I thought we were generally going to get in trouble, is we had a copy of an illegal game for the PS1. Kill something.
Oh, I remember that shit, and there was that woman who used to sit
Yeah,
on
she
your
used
face.
to sit on your face and electrocute with a cattle prod.
Thrill kill.
Thrill kill. And I thought we were generally going to get in trouble because it was like an illegal game. I was like, I don't want this in my house, man. What if the police turn up and we're playing thrill kill? Oh, to be a twat, young. We had both the PS2 and the PC at the same time to be more time efficient with our serious research. There was one friend who wasn't interested at all by our expedition. He was on his own, with his own laptop and some cashew nuts, playing another game.
Nice.
This friend was Naving, and he was soon to become my best friend to this day. So I walks up to Naving and asked what the fuck this game was and why you're not looking for Bigfoot, you prick. It looked so complicated with all the icons and the bars all over the screen. I frankly found it quite overwhelming, but watching that black-haired, heavy armor-wearing, enormous mace-wielding and skeleton horse-riding zombie he was moving around this beautiful, purplish city, my mind was blown. When I asked, he answered, "This is World of Warcraft. It's an MMO and I'm playing as an undead warrior." He then proceeded to show me a battleground he was doing and how he was completely owning. He was top of the kill board. Wow. One does not simply get to the top of the kill board in a BG without being literally the best player there. I can vouch for that. As somebody who has regularly been at the top of the kill board, let me tell you. Let me tell you. Not easy. Not easy. You've got to really be skilled to get there. The week after, I decided I must buy this game. In that I mean I asked my parents to buy this game for me. Before going to the next part, I believe I should give you a glance at what kind of gamer Naving is. He is the kind of guy who will always try to show you that he is better than you, even if it clearly isn't the case. For instance, I remember the time I was playing Dragon Age 2 on hard mode. Oh shit. And told him on Skype how I was wiping on some fight and having to farm a level or two to get some gear, to have the deeps to outdamage the hot and the boss and the multiple ads. And hopefully managed to find the right positioning so that my party wouldn't aggro the other packs. The next day I received a message from Naving telling me, "Fucking easy, mate. Mate, that fight ain't shit, you fucking scrub. Scrub. Noob. Move. 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 Idiot." He said he just started a brand new character, went in and one-shot it in about 15 seconds or something. In nightmare mode, mate. He actually says this. It just started a brand new character, went in, one-shot it in 15 seconds, mate. In nightmare mode, mate. Fucking easy game. Or tried to argue with me about how the class he was playing at any given time was miles better than the class I picked. For example, how DKs were miles better than Warriors when he switched his main to a DK. And the next month, how Warriors have always been the best class in the game and could clearly shit on DKs when he came back to his Warrior. His class was always the best. And it also definitely had the highest skill cap, even if he was playing a Cataclysm Blood DK. Getting back to our main story, I got the game, installed it, and faced the hardest decision I had to make. Pick a race and a class. I called on Naving for help and asked him what I should pick. And then came the monologue I still remember to this day. Fucking hell. Mate, well, first of all, you obviously don't want to pick Alliance. They're all gay. So you need to go Horde. Preferably undead, since orcs are ugly, Taurens are cows, trolls are okay, but don't have shoes, and blood elves, well, they're also gay.
You fucking what, mate? Who's that? Which cunt has sent that in? Eh?
In regards to the class, druids are boring because they turn into animals, and that is gay, and get beaten by warriors. Mages are pussies who run away from warriors all the time. Shamans are weird, but they can heal warriors in arenas. DKs are for noobs. Hunters are for girls. Priests are for people who don't like fighting. Warlocks are cool, but are complicated for a noob like you. Rogues are badass, but their armor doesn't look good. Paladins, well, I'm going to be honest, they're gay. And only blood elves can be paladins, which would make you double gay. And you don't want to be double gay, do you? There's only one remaining choice, mate, in the god of all classes, the strongest and the mightiest of them all, the warrior. Now you know everything, so you're free to customize your undead warrior as you wish. That is well good. That is fucking well good. That is well good. It says that word for word. I'm not even fucking lying, including double gay. I like the end though, where it's like, and now after I've explained it to you, mate, you are free to customize your undead warrior however you wish.
That is
so fucking good. That is absolutely amazing. Can I title this story Double Gay? YouTube will be all up my ass for that, won't he?
Way, pun intended,
Yeah,
mate.
And now you're free to customize your undead warrior as you wish.
That whole sentence, mate.
Tread
to applaud
lightly.
it. Yeah. Proceed with reverence.
So I made my first character, killing bats and zombies, dying multiple times to the goddamn farmers, receiving 1 gold. 1 gold from Naving to buy my spells. What a guy. And here's a fucking golden one.
Just
Just for
cuddle,
you,
mate.
mate.
Mrs.
Yeah.
is outside.
Be good. Have a good weekend, mate.
See you
Oh,
tomorrow.
see you tomorrow. Yeah,
See
yeah.
you tomorrow, boys and girls, and however you identify.
And that's why he works here. To buy my spells and my first mount. Overall, I was having a good time. But one day, one of my classmates joined the game and made a Blood Elf mage. His name's not relevant to the story since he barely played. And he was dog shit anyway. And he asked me to go to the Blood Elf starting zone to help him out. I was around level 27 and felt powerful. With a brand new blue weapon that I had got from a dungeon. So I opened the map, located my destination, bought some food, and off I went. I was having a rather peaceful ride, helping fellow low-level undead with their quests, dueling other players, enjoying my trip. But it soon turned to disaster. As I was getting closer to my destination, I stumbled across a village in the Eastern Plaguelands, full of high-level monstrosities, banshees and zombies. I tried to sneak past them, but couldn't. Every single time I respawned, they would find me and two-shot me. I couldn't even find my Hearthstone. I had to call Naving for help. Don't move. I'll be there soon, he told me. So there I stood with broken gear and not being able to move without aggroing a nearby mob. After waiting a few minutes, I saw him. His undead had much spikier armor than me. Which must mean it's good, right? It's got way more spikes on it. A red cape and an enormous mace riding a black bear. It was such an awesome sight to behold. The bear disappeared. Naving charged the mob and kept walking everywhere. Nearly all the creatures were attacking him. No way he's going to survive this, I thought. He's clearly outnumbered. But he did the most badass thing I have ever seen in a video game. And it's still my best gaming memory to this day. You guessed it, ladies and gentlemen. He started spinning around himself like a tornado of death with his massive weapon, instantly slaughtering every enemy he touched. It was the first time I had ever witnessed Blade Storm. And fuck me, it was so cool. I remember the day. I do. I remember the day when Blade Storm came into the game. It was the best day ever. Triple Warrior Arena. Yeah, mate. He then came to me and gave me some money for my repairs, some food, and told me not to bother with my newbie classmate and let him play on his own so he could learn. I like Naving. Fuck everything. Naving knows what's up. Rocks up to his mate, blade storms everything, throws him some fucking chump change and says leave that noob to learn how to play. And I listened to Naving's advice and I went back to the Undercity. But this event struck me, and conflicted as I was, with all the efforts I would put, I would simply never be able to get as good as Naving with my warrior. He was too strong. And my goal at the time was to become even stronger than he was. I gave up on my warrior. I had previously heard of one specific class that could fight with big swords, wear heavy armor, heal itself, and sometimes completely avoid any damage. Thus, becoming immortal. At this point, I no longer cared about being gay. So I walked off and created a Blood Elf Paladin. Double gay! It's double gay! Oh no! He's going double gay! I was playing non-stop. I managed to keep my very good grades. I was leveling fast, almost never dying. Owning people in Hellfire Peninsula, clearing dungeons and capping. I still couldn't beat Naving, but I was having a lot of fun. ICC came and I was afraid of raiding. Of being called out for being bad at the game. So I spent the rest of Wrath leveling my warrior and an orc DK and role-playing on my pally with a nice group of people, doing heroics and making it in a few Archivon pugs. Wrath was also the period where I fell in love with a 40-ish-year-old woman and got catfished during my RP days. But that is another story, another tale. But let me share with you this one. The Cataclysm hit. I was tired of achieving nothing. Watching Naving get glory in PvP and badass gear from raiding, so I decided I was to become a raider. After capping all my characters, I realised that I was, in fact, shit at my paladin. Doing around 6k DPS as Ret. So I decided to play my warrior. I was doing fine, my DPS was on point, gearing a bit slowly, but it wasn't a big deal. And by the time Naving started raiding with his guild, doing sick deeps and sending me screenshots of him at the top of the meters on trash. Every blade storm's a screenshot. I fucking love the Marines. Huh. Every day's a dream. Every blade storm a screenshot. From the Blackwing Descent and the Bastard of Twilight, getting more and more gear each week, I was happily doing pugs. My first Blackwing Descent, though, didn't go well. The raid leader told me my DPS was bullshit. I then called out to Naving and asked him to teach me. Teach me. He taught me the way of the warrior, and I was making progress. So much that I started to top the meters in almost every raid I joined. Naving helped me out a lot, giving me an Acarus two-handed mace from Magmar, from an alt run that we got into and pugged me in, and helping me farm the PvP axe. To be honest, despite being a clicker, my DPS was not that bad. Chat can decide on that one. But I was still guildless. Still guildless. Hoorah! One day, I heard that a hunter named Van Leer, who apparently was the best hunter on the server, was starting a heroic raiding guild. I took advantage of knowing people who know people and tried to get in. A little backstory. One day I was doing my heroics and stumbled across a Blood Elf Fury warrior. He had awful gear and was doing awful DPS. His name was Curl. Seeing my big dick damage, he asked me to teach him a little bit. So after the dungeon, I taught him exactly the way Naving taught me. He even gave me some BOE 359 boots, some mining materials, and I gave him some crafted gear and wished him the best of luck. The raid leader of said guild happened to be Curl. He told me I could get a guild invite, but I would play as a replacement player in case one of the DPSs had to be absent. Not but bench, mate. Recruited to the bench. I accepted since it was better than having no guild. I'd rather be in a guild and benched than not in a guild, mate. And I noticed that Curl started to act really cocky during raids. He had gathered far better gear than I had, and most of the time I would join with my hunter alt. But one night, Curl couldn't attend the heroic Blackwing Descent run. So Van Leer told me to come on my warrior. I was excited. I was on my main. I was ready to go. The raid went well. I was doing top DPS with the mechanics, didn't die, had perfect interrupts and target switching, and smashed the meters on Magmar and Maloriak. Oh, cheesing them worms all day. The team was pretty amazed by my performance. I even got some loot. But as we were preparing to pull Heroic Nefarian, we heard, user has joined your channel. Followed by, hey, what's up, guys? I'm back. I can raid now. It is important to note that Curl did not have his heroic ash candy. I'll come in for Nefarian if you want, but only if I'm sure that I get the ash candy, yeah? He said with his annoying spoiled kid voice. We then heard a deep voice, which was Van Leer. He didn't speak a lot, so I wasn't accustomed to this voice.
No.
Arthur started this raid with us, and he's doing a pretty good job. He also has better DPS than you, without all the heroic gear you've got. So if it drops, he will get it. Fucked. Get fucked. Raid leader for life. That's how you raid lead. Fuck off. With no surprise whatsoever, Curl was pissed. He immediately left TeamSpeak and logged off. We killed Nefarian on the second pull. I topped the deeps, got my title, but no fucking ash candy. Days passed and our server was dying, so we decided we would move together to another realm. I was getting bored of my warrior and didn't have the money to server transfer all of my 3 characters. So I chose to transfer my Death Knight and my Paladin and level a warrior from scratch. I decided it was time to become the masterclass Death Knight. In the Firelands, I got some decent gear on my DK, but farming tier 11 raids and decided to play as Frost. The spec was fun and the damage was great. Venlia's guild died due to some drama between, of course, Curl and him. So once again, I was guildless. Not for a long time, though. Naving told me he could get me a spot in his guild. Given that I'd made some serious progress gear-wise, I was no longer a clicker. I remade my entire UI and was ready to be one side by side with Naving. I really fucked it up. When I joined the guild with my DK, the raid leader contacted me asking if I had a tanking spec immediately. Since their main tank had coincidentally just left. I told him that I could tank, but only with my paladin, since I really enjoyed prot back then and I was really strong. He then proceeded to boost my paladin with gear from previous raids and farming reps and BOEs, giving everything I needed to raid. My meaty tour and prop paladin was ready, and we went into the Firelands. I was pumped, having prepared everything, seen some of the fights, and being confident in my abilities. We failed at Ballarok Normal. I was so pissed, but at the same time confident that I could lead this raid team to a better future. Naving told me that half the members that were raiding during T11 had fucked off and made their own guild with fucking Curl as a raid leader. But it wasn't a big deal to me. I started being vocal, explaining strats, calling out mistakes, dealing with positioning of people, and I became the new raid leader. Not only that, but my tanking on a prop paladin was getting good, to the point where some guilds in my service started to look forward to recruiting me. We did kill the third boss, but our resto shaman couldn't cope with Ballarok Normal. By this time, Naving got tired of this shit and left the guild, along with the rest of the decent raiders. Our main druid, who was a great healer and good friend, left for Curl's guild. I began raiding with a 10-man guild that missed a tank. We were clearing normal Firelands, but that was it. I eventually made an app to the best guild on the server, brilliantly made it through my trial, and declined the invite. Explained to the GM that his guild's atmosphere was awful and not welcoming. Because people were always bitching on Mumble. He understood and told me I was the first one to ever be accepted to their guild and deny it. So he wished me good luck. I eventually cleared Heroic Firelands with my Frost DK as a pug, and sadly, it was in Curl's guild under his command. But I got my rag kill before the Dragon Souls release, and I topped the meters on rag. Why are you such a bitch to this scenario? I don't get it. As the Dragon Soul was coming, I decided I would go back to my warrior and enjoy my time. But once you fall in love with tanking, you can't go back. I played as prot, doing heroics, getting gear. Curl's guild was the second biggest guild on the server now. The top guild had fallen apart, and a new guild formed from a merge between the old ones. And they were the cockiest fucking players I had ever seen. So I was once again put off by the good guilds on our realm. The day came. Naving whispered me, telling me he had found a newly formed 10-man guild from guys who had raided the Sunwell in TBC, and that he had got in. I asked if there was a spot for a tank. He told me to contact their GM, Dick. So I PM'd Dick. I gave him all my raiding history without him asking about it, and told him about all the classes I could play at a decent level. After a long monologue of mine, he asked me a single question. What class do you want to play? I found the question quite out of context, but answered a warrior, prot mainly. He replied, Dragon Soul, next week. Be ready. I said, okay. For a start, my tanking gear was dog shit. My arms gear was even worse. I had never done LFR on this character. With my current item level, I couldn't even get into a heroic run for Firelands. So I had to go nerd mode. I grew a beard, played non-stop for a week, gathering all the gear and enchants I could. I even took the DPS 1H axe from the End Time Heroic and used it as prot. I crafted a shield. My gear was all from ZA and ZG, Justice, Vendors, Reps, found a Tolbarad trinket, and cheap crafting. The only decent piece of gear I managed to get was a Valor trinket from the vendor. My other trinket was a blue from the Throne of Tides. My warrior was a fucking mess. But the raid night came. I had never done the Dragon Soul before, not even in LFR. The team was already in front of Morchok, and I got a Warlock summon. Naving was there, looking badass as he always did. The second tank was a full Firelance heroic geared prop paladin. Dick was explaining to me how the raid would go. But when I popped in front of his character, he inspected me and instantly stopped typing. Naving started laughing, and I got really nervous thinking Dick was about to kick me from the raid after actually seeing my character. But he didn't. He started a countdown, and we pulled Morchok. I believe there is no need to mention that every single time I taunted the boss off their prop paladin, my health began to spike. It's important to stress the fact that Dick is probably the best healer I have ever played with. We killed Morchok, and I noticed that Dick was the one to handle loot. Nobody discussed his decision, even though he wasn't the raging raid leader. He was the calmest guy I'd ever heard, but everybody listened to him and respected him. He wasn't very old either, I'd say mid-20s. We got to your Sarge and I says that we should probably one-tank him in the following two bosses. Dick agreed, but then again, I had to go arms. Even Dick couldn't stop laughing at my gear. My DPS was the worst in the raid below the tanks. Even with me blade storming the ads. Knave was kicking ass. I was way at the bottom. On Hagara, I was so confused by what was going on. I did 7k DPS. And as if my first raid couldn't get worse, on Ultraxion, or the most boring progress boss in the game, I had to switch to Prot and proudly equipped my little Tolbarad trinket. Dick linked the Ultraxion button macro in TeamSpeak, so I copy-pasted it and bound it to one of my mouse buttons. When it was my turn to click, I spammed that button. I spammed Dick's macro, but nothing happened. And I died. Dick battle-resed me. The next time I had to click, I spammed the macro again. I swear to you guys, I clicked it. But I fell. Face in the mud. All the while, Naving was just laughing at me and told me to check my chat. I had forgotten to delete the space before the / in the macro. My character would spam the macro in the entire chat instead of actually pressing a button. The whole raid team was laughing at how ridiculous I was. They managed to kill the boss. I couldn't stop thinking that this was the worst trial period of my entire life. And that Dick was writing down every single one of my fuck-ups. But I had to carry on. To be honest, I did fine on Blackhorn with good positioning and target switching to maximise cleave. Dick even gave me my headpiece token. I did an even better job on Spine with a perfect tanking of the bloods and movement so our DPS could cheese the damage on the tendon. And we killed Madness. And Naving got his Gerthalak. At the end of the raid, Dick dragged me and Naving to the private TeamSpeak channel and asked us feedback. He told Naving that I was actually better than what he expected. That he was better than what he expected, doing great DPS and outclassing everyone in the raid. As for me, he kept it short. He told me that I was taken, but there was another tank in the guild who just hadn't been online that night. So I was welcome to stay, but I would be on the bench. The end. How do you not notice that you're spamming chat? Are you fucking kidding me, bro? Bro, how? How do you not notice that you're spamming chat? Twice? Why do you guys get so fucking nervous in raids, especially on trials? I see it all the time. It doesn't feel bad. It doesn't feel bad. It's not feels bad. It's not feels bad. Why? Why? You guys... No, I'm not saying all of you. So many of you guys get so fucking nervous on trial runs and shit. We've all been there. I suppose. Everyone's got the same things as you. He did it at a spot. He's got a bench. He's alright. Top demon hunting. Why would it work the second time? Yeah, so why did you keep doing it? Some people just keep doing it. Chill. It's a game. It's fine. It's fine. I remember the first time Burning Crusade I got taken carry, I was nervous as fuck. Oh, man. I nearly had a heart attack during my tank trial. I have a panic attack every time I raid. No. No. Our raid leader panics. He does. Our raid leader panics. I don't think he likes it when I tell him to relax. Right, I'm going to go and have some dinner, and then I'm probably going to come back and stream some WoW and stuff, if that's all right. I think it's going to be pretty good. But those are some really cool stories. Those are very cool. I love the newbie stories. I do love the newbie ones, because we all started somewhere. We all got there. We took the wrong portal in Ulduar on your... Yeah, I did. I disconnected on my first ever Madness heroic kill. I fucked all that stuff up. Yeah. Oh, I've been there. Don't worry. I was nervous as fuck back in the day. Not anymore, though. Now I can be all smug about it. It's all good. It's all good. Right, I'll be back in probably about 45 minutes, something like that. Gonna go chill out and have a shower and do all that kind of stuff. Yeah, and then we'll play some WoW. We might do some normal Nightmare or something like that. That should be a bit of a giggle. If you've not done it yet. I'll eat all my vegetables. I promise. Yeah, you sleep. You're gonna have a good sleep. I'll see you in a little while. I'm gonna go do my stuff. All right. See you in a bit, guys. Bye-bye.